Electimuss London's Persephone'S Patchouli. That's the fragrance of today's topic. Stay tuned. What's up, fragrance family? Today is the full review on Persephone'S Patchouli from the brand Electimuss London. Electimuss London has a couple of other fragrances that I reviewed, and today we're going to talk about Persephone'S Patchouli. We're going to start this off with some of the notes. As you can see, we have Guatemalan cardamom, plum, 6 different types of pomegranate seeds, patchouli, jasmine, Egypt, Bulgarian rose, and the honey, ambergris, and sandalwood in the base. I have a little bit left that I did want to save for this moment, and luckily, we're going to be able to test it one last time before we wrap this up, and I'll be able to tell you guys whether or not I think Persephone'S Patchouli is worth the pickup. So here we go. Persephone'S Patchouli. Okay, so this is still what I remember it to be. And the main notes that I'm picking up immediately, not so much cardamom. It's kind of a cardamom that if you didn't necessarily crack it open. So it's not really the additional cardamom that you would think of, that nice spiciness that you'll get from a cardamom. It's more of a spiced earthiness, almost like the cardamom itself has not been cracked open to reveal the actual essence. So it's kind of a green cardamom, along with the highly amplified patchouli that's kind of muzzling that cardamom note. So the other thing that I do pick up right away is honey. I definitely pick up some honey. Not much of the sandalwood or ambergris, but I can definitely tell that this would be more abrasive if it wasn't for the amplification of patchouli and sandalwood. So there is some creaminess here, but I wouldn't necessarily give it that tag or title of creamy at all. This fragrance I feel like should have been called Persephone'S Rose more than patchouli, because this almost feels like it's a rose-based fragrance and the patchouli is just almost a supportive note. What I think the concentrations of oils are here, and this is the way that I'm smelling it. So I would say that rose is at about 100%, patchouli is about 75 to 80%, and then we have 20% of that honey and maybe about 10% sandalwood. That's really all I'm picking up here. And then the Guatemalan cardamom was also a 10%, but within 5 minutes, it's gone. So it's, like I said, an uncracked Guatemalan cardamom, so it's a green cardamom, not really anything too spicy. So if I did pick it up a little bit more than 10 minutes, it's still not something that the average nose can smell and definitely detect. So it's almost like this one should have been called Persephone'S Rose. It's a rose-based fragrance, in my opinion, that's supported by this patchouli and some of that honey and sandalwood. And so basically the picture that I draw when I smell this fragrance is a rose with the green stem with the leaf still attached. That's exactly what I'm smelling. So that rose note smells like the rose. The patchouli almost smells like it might be the twig and the leaf of the rose, and then the sandalwood and all that honey and stuff just makes it smell a little bit more of a ripe rose. Basically what I get, this smells like a ripe rose. Nothing groundbreaking whatsoever, and in my opinion, in comparison to a lot of the other rose fragrances that I own or that I've smelled, I think I would rather reach for another rose fragrance like Rosé from Zaharoff or the Adonis Awakens from Argos fragrances. This just seems a little bit too dull for me. Now we're going to talk about the performance. Performance is another one that I'm quite disappointed with. Unfortunately, this did last a little bit longer on me than Imperium and Oster, probably by about 2 hours more. So instead of 4 hours, I got about 6, maybe 7 hours, probably about 6.5 hours. And the reason that I got that is because patchouli always performs amazing on my skin. The patchouli is the only thing that lasted. The rose and everything that's special about this fragrance dried out and died out within the first 2 hours. By hour 3, it was all patchouli and just lasted for maybe another 4 hours and relatively, weak. So probably I'll give it about like 6 inches off of me. It wasn't really a scent bubble, but if I smelled myself, I could smell it. After the 7-hour mark, it was gone. So do I think it's worth it? Not for me. Is it a good fragrance? Yes, it's a good fragrance. Do I think there's better? 100%. I definitely think there's better. This is just me keeping it honest with you guys. Like I said, I still found a fragrance from Electimuss London that I actually really enjoy and I will be keeping, and that's the Patchouli of the Underworld, which I'll go ahead and link here as well. If you haven't, gotten to know that fragrance, then now's your chance. And that pretty much sums up Persephone'S Patchouli. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video half as much as I did making it for you guys. Peace.